Well, hello. It's time to play our intro. That is pretty cool.
From across the country and around the world, a weekly targeted individual conference call focused on support, discussion, and the fourth industrial revolution, featuring a special TI book club segment. This is Targeted West, and here's your host, DJ Chris. The opinions expressed by participants are their own and not necessarily those of Targeted West.
It is a beautiful day here in Lodi. It's 83 degrees. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the USA, California time. My name is DJ Chris. We have a website, TargetedWest.com, you can check out and go from there. This is show number 217. Tonight is open mic, and it is the 28th day of the 6th month of June 2026. So thank you for watching on your favorite platform. And you are not alone. If you get V2K or synthetic telepathy, you've probably did some research on the internet and found that there's people like you that are hearing voices in their head, and you're not crazy and you're not on drugs and you can't figure it out. Well, you've come to the right place, because this is where we talk about that very subject, the touchy subject that gets you put in a nursing home. Not a nursing home, but a mental hospital, just by admitting that you have some type of telepathy. It's funny, you think they'd embrace it, but they don't. It's weaponized because it's hiding a bigger issue, and that is we have a worldwide control grid that's trying to control everything we do and say. It's behavioral control. It's the elite's worldwide dream, and it's coming true. So come here to this call, and if you need help and you want to talk, DJ Chris at TargetedWest.com, and we've got a book club tonight at 6:45, and it's open mic now. Michelle's here, Noble Truth, the gang's all here. Sean D is in the house, and Laura. So we're all ready to go. It's open mic. Come on in.
Hi, Chris. Miss you.
Hey, love you too. What are you up to?
Oh, just listening to a bunch of blah, blah, blah. Ridiculousness.
Oh, your V2K, yeah.
Yeah, my fake life is in riddles.
Oh, they do the riddles with you? Yeah. I don't get riddles. I get the same old recording over and over again. You'd think with the trillions of dollars they spent, they could come up with new material, but they don't.
I wish I got that. That's why I know I have live operators a lot of the time, because they're reacting to stuff at the precise, like, real-time stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, some people get more live agents and some get more AI chatterbots.
Yeah, unfortunately. I wish mine was more AI.
Yeah, mine is mostly AI chatterbots, and it just says the same thing over and over again. You get a live agent if it gets juicy and they want to come in and, do their shtick. But, other than that, I try to live my life. One of the things I noticed since I've been with Granny over here is that when I watch TV on the antenna, I watch the TV channels without cable or direct TV, I don't get any V2K. The second that TV goes on mute, they start right up. Are they trying to keep me on the TV all day? I think that's what their new game is, but which is not productive.
TVs are called quote unquote programs, so be careful. Just be careful what you watch.
Well, Granny likes Murder, She Wrote and Monk and all these, crazy, police shows. So, but I don't take it. I don't absorb any of that because I know it's. I try to not make a joke of it, but you can see all the bad acting. It's like
I haven't watched TV in months because and I have Netflix and stuff, but I haven't watched it because I've been too exhausted and because my brain can't take any more stimulation.
Yeah, it's very stimulating the way TV's designed, and they'll play a murder show, and then they'll sell you life insurance and stuff like that.
Tell you which pharmaceutical is going to do to you.
Yeah. Oh, and we're the only country besides New Zealand that allows advertisements of pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
And that's crazy that they allow that. There are so many commercials for pharmaceuticals. It is unbelievable. Ask your doctor about this. Ask your doctor about that. How many doctors have to listen to people go and say, I saw it on TV?
And then it says you'll probably die, but take it anyway.
Yeah, the site, they show people in a river swimming and having a good time throwing the ball around and barbecuing. Well, they tell you all the dangerous side effects. Yeah, you may lose your sight and not be able to see this commercial anymore. But we have a copay deal. Yeah, I know.
Try and get insurance. Good luck.
Yeah, and then they try to sell you funeral insurance and stuff like that, and they keep saying the average funeral is $10,000. You don't have to spend that if someone passes away unless they have a million friends. But they're just so pushy on the TV. But it keeps my V2K away, and I don't know if it's a bad or good trade-off, but
it's a good distraction.
I'm tired of the V2K. I've had enough of it. It's enough to, break you practically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Because
trying to break you.
When the content doesn't bother you, the criticisms and stuff, when you already know their game, then they just try and drive you crazy with the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
That's plan B for them.
Yeah, it creates an aversion. It creates an aversion, makes you not susceptible to it.
Yeah.
They're doing it the wrong way. They're actually conditioning you, and then it won't bother you anymore. It's quite the opposite. I don't see why they do it.
They can't help themselves, though. That's the problem.
I think they're criminals. I think they're definitely criminals, probably something like a syndicate, and I think they're involved with contracts with the government. I think that they can do whatever they want. They laugh at me when I say, what you do is illegal, and they go, there's no laws. I go, I know, because you control the laws, you control the Congress, you control the Senate. So, yeah, I know how you work. You are mostly defense contractors and smaller ones, and they all are associated with each other. So they do communicate, and they have trade associations. So they do trade ideas.
Yeah.
Where's that coming from?
I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
Someone was in the car, I think.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Tranquility. Hey, Ben, what's up? Come on in.
What's going on, man? I just wanted to comment on. Well, I mean, first off, good to see you. It's always good to see a beautiful face. You're a hero. You're one of the best conference call hosts out there. I aspire to be more like you on my calls. You're a great example. But I want to comment on what you said about when you watch television shows that the V2K lays off of you. And I experienced that myself. With watching, if I put on YouTube shorts, like not even like YouTube videos, but YouTube shorts, it's like the same thing. It'll just stop completely.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's a nice thing because I babysit Granny, and so at least I don't get tortured with V2K. But if I go in the back in the bedroom and lay down, and I don't have anything playing, then they're right on me. So it's funny how the TV stops them. And so does my music.
But what they do with me is they, like, when you go on YouTube and there's recommended videos for you and stuff, if I hit one of those, and usually there's something that because it's your algorithm, it's something that you do want to look at. If I look at any of those, it's already been pre-prepared for them to, insinuate some sort of you're going to die, you're an idiot, whatever, some sort of threat within it. So it's already preempted the recommended stuff. So just be careful when you see that, when you open recommended stuff as a targeted individual.
Yeah, something is different. It's really, I'm flabbergasted to be listening to your comments, because I'm not even able to watch a Netflix movie or open up a YouTube video and watch YouTube because I get the B2K constantly, and I can't sit down and concentrate and watch a movie on Netflix, because my chatterbox is constantly chattering, and I'm constantly answering back. So
are they narrating what the words are saying in music?
No, but what they're doing is they're if it's something that they don't like politically or militarily, they'll give me a real hard time watching it. They'll talk through or threaten me or that kind of thing.
They narrate like whatever the guy in the video, whatever the singer is singing about, they'll say is going to happen to me, or they'll twist it and turn it to like say, this guy said he's going to go get cocaine. They'll say you're going to go be a drug addict. Whatever.
If there's a shooting scene, this is why I try to avoid anything that has to do with violent movies.
Yeah,
because
me too.
Because this is what it's already like traumatized me, because if there's a shooting scene, my pimp will go, that's what's gonna happen to you. Crap like that.
Yeah, I get it. The whole song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. You call your handler your pimp?
Yeah, because I feel sometimes, when I've gone from jumping around from state to state, I feel sometimes I feel like an escaped prostitute.
All right. Well, it's important to.
I agree with that. That is a good description.
Neurolinguistic programming is.
Yeah, it's an electronic pimp, right, Ben?
He's kind of saying it sarcastically, though, right?
Well, I was just trying to say that.
Of course, I'm being facetious, but it's true. I was
just trying to. I'm just trying to get across that, like, it's important to understand.
What I call them.
It's just important to understand, like, neurolinguistic programming, and that, like, words have power. So oftentimes they will suggest you. We all experience this with V2K. They will suggest thoughts and ideas, and they feel like they're your own thoughts and ideas. And a lot of times they want you to kind of like, label, put certain labels on things, think of things in a certain way, and words have power. So it's important, because I noticed they would constantly try, when I was doing my activism and writing about stuff, they would want to describe targeted people as victims, and say the word individual instead of people, and I constantly have to like go and re-edit, what I was writing, yeah, it's just important to just watch language, because they will try to, this is a behavioral psychology game, where they are messing with your mind, and and you're not a prostitute, you're a normal human being that's being that's under attack because they're a strong individual, a strong person. They just did it just then, and so
I agree with you, Ben. I agree that because then indirectly you're calling yourself a prostitute when you have to set your boundary, because you're not. You're a beautiful, amazing man, and we love you. And if you call him a pimp, that means that you're a prostitute.
I wish I had but the name he goes by is Satanic Ritual Abuse, but you're a good dude. You're not a prostitute, so don't call them a pimp. Just call them a criminal, a contractor, agent, handler, but don't, because just by calling them that, you're inferring that, and you're taking on that kind of that dynamic, and it has a psychological toll, and it's a subconscious kind of a thing. So, I would just look out for that, because I don't know.
This is Carrie, you guys.
I'm just saying that because they did that with me a lot. They would constantly try to implant thoughts. And at the beginning, I thought that they were my own thoughts, and these things like, because they'll make you argue with them. Like the V2K will say something, and then it's like almost like they're sock puppeting you. It's like they will say something. Yeah, they will say something, but then they'll say something through you to force you to argue with them, and they'll program your mind that way. They'll program.
It's like they're having a conversation with themselves, but you're just getting towards them. Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And they can, they can send their speech through your thoughts, and if you're not careful, it's very hard to differentiate your own thoughts from theirs. And it's a disturbingly effective technique for retraining your mind and kind of changing how you think. And that's why they repeat it over and over again. That's why it's the same things over and over and over again. It's basically creating this. It's training your mind to think in that way, and yeah, there's a reason why it's so stupid and repetitive, because it does. It's a programming. It's a programming technique, basically.
There's a word for that. There's a word for that repetitiveness, and it's called inculcation. It's a part of inculcation. It's a part of neuro-linguistic programming. It's very important.
No, you came on my call. You came on my call and told me about inculcation, and I wrote an article about that. Basically, mindful inculcation. I think is basically the name of the article, where I did more research after you told me about that, and that is I didn't know that word before, and when you said that, I looked it up, and it's a form of it's part of this trauma-based mind control that relies on repetition, sleep deprivation, trauma, and then they're using literal neuromodulation. They're messing with your emotional state. They're messing with your with this technology to make it more effective. Layers, and then the sleep. When you're sleeping, they do the whole dream manipulation. And they're doing all these negative dreams and constant themes of helplessness or abuse or different things going on. Yeah, and stress and it's many different layers of basically trauma-based mind control techniques. But yeah.
Hey, you guys, since we're on this topic, this is Carrie. I don't know you. I know Ben a little bit. But I have to say, I would say the last 2 nights, last night was the worst night I've ever had. They were waking me up throughout the night, this burning, like almost feeling like my skin is being pulled on my scalp and on my chest, and it's on fire. And then this morning, you guys, oh, thank you. I have just, honestly, they embedded something around suicide, and it has been so hard to, not listen to it and to try to just keep living. I mean, I'm a person who loves life. I do not want to die, but they are working so hard.
They're probably testing you.
Yeah, they do that to me and make me really depressed in the mornings, and I chant to myself, I just want to die, and then I knock myself out of it, take a couple of antidepressants, which are horrible, and then I get better.
Are you a woman of faith?
No, not really. I've listened to Ben and other people talk about how comforting the church can be in reading the Bible, and so I was listening to the Bible a little bit. So it's not something that's super accessible.
It doesn't matter what you believe in. If you believe in anything, seek that out.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a spiritual war.
That's something that I say in my calls. I mean, like me personally, like I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus Christ, but I know that Buddhists and Hindus and Muslims and Jews are all targeted. Real Jews, not like fake Jews that are going around in Hollywood and big tech. They don't really believe in Judaism, but anything you can get a connection with to like a higher power and like a good belief system.
Yes.
It does help a lot.
You can move mountains with that.
Well, you guys, the other thing I'm experiencing is like the gassing, and of course, Ben, you have the opinion it's all neural. I definitely at times feel like it's neural, and I think it could be people also. But the point is, like, I spend most of my days right now lying in the shade in the park somewhere. I'm in an Airbnb. Anywhere I've been, I have the experience all day long, and it's just wearing me down.
Yeah,
the lifestyle that I have right now is horrible.
They're trying to break. They've done that to me. They're trying to break you down, and so they can control you better. And that means that they know that you're not easily controllable. And they did it to me. You got to be real careful right now, and definitely talk to people. Reach out to people. Reach out to anyone in our community, and do not isolate yourself, because they'll try and get you isolated with nobody, and then it gets very, very dangerous.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. And anything you can do. I get, you have my personal number, and you're free to call me whenever you want.
You've been great, Ben. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and of course. It makes me feel better every time I can talk to another TI. So one of the things, like Michelle was saying, one of the big things that they do is to make sure that you can't talk to other people, and you're just dealing with, even if you're not getting direct V2K, they're doing it subliminally. They're implanting.
Oh, they are. They are.
And see what happens is you get in their world, and you don't, and then you almost forget that there's a real, like, a normal world out there, and they put you in their world and they isolate you, and then then that's when they do the real mind control, and they get you to do stuff that you don't want to do. They get you to act out, and you have to have, I know we lead like double lives, but you got to have one foot in the door of the normal life too, because you need some normalcy.
Yeah, again, really good advice.
Well, you know what, you guys, one thing that happened was yesterday I did all this, like energy work and, trying to come up with tools to deal with the nausea and the gassing, but then I was like setting up my life almost like it was normal, right? On my calendar, I was having dates with people. Today I've seen like 2 people, and I swear to God, they were like, "Fuck no, you're not going to do that.
Do it anyway. You got to do it.
I did.
Do it. Good. God bless you. Then yes, you got to. Yeah. What they want you to do is to retreat. Do not retreat. No quarter.
Yeah. You're getting really good. You're getting really good information, because when I was in your similar situation, I was homeless, and I was living in my truck, and I was just getting bombarded by nothing but V2K. So I was stuck in that bubble, And to me, the best thing was in the morning when I would go get my coffee, and I would be able to talk to the barista, at the drive-through window, because I was able to talk to somebody who was alive and talking to me face to face, and I was interacting with her.
And I remember, Anthony, when you used to take the dog and go out to the park and have coffee, and you did little regimens, and you did self-care, so that was great.
Yep. But the best thing for me was to because of the interaction with another person. Even walking into a convenience store to buy something and speaking to the clerk was to me, it was a real treat, because I was interacting with the real person, and that's really important that we do that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I agree.
I can give you my phone number as well.
Oh, that is so kind. Okay, what's your name?
My name's Michelle. What's your first name?
It's Kerry, Kerry.
Oh, okay. My phone number is area code 669-281.
Hold on one sec.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
My hackers might get rid of this. Did you say 669?
Yes, area code 669-281-9610. What area code would you be calling for?
669-81.
No, 281-9610. Okay, 281. Yeah, 9610.
The problem is I don't have you on Okay. So I have, sorry you guys, 669-281. What are the last four numbers?
9610.
Thanks for your patience.
Sure. What area code
Thank
are you
Michelle.
from?
I'm in Denver, Colorado.
So your area code is?
Which, believe me, I'm 720.
Okay, so just so I'll look out for it, because I don't usually answer.
Yeah.
If leave a message if I don't answer, and I'll call you back. Okay,
Michelle, thank you so much.
Sure, God bless you. Stay strong and
my gosh. Yeah, it's something. I mean, I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, I've been bombarded, gassed every day for the last, 10 weeks, and I'm just so exhausted.
Yes. Yep. Are they letting you sleep? Are they? I shouldn't say it. I take that back.
No.
Are you able to sleep?
Yeah, can you sleep?
I'm not going to give them that power.
I mean, occasionally I do, but I think then it's a trade-off, because like when I do, I take drugs to sleep, right?
Yeah, I had to
and
do
then
that
we know
too.
I'm more vulnerable.
Don't be ashamed of that. I had to also. I didn't take drugs, but I just drank a whole bottle of like NyQuil. I mean, yeah. I had to sleep. When I was homeless in my car for 7 months, they froze me. They gave me like hypothermia type of feelings, and I couldn't sleep for literally 7 months straight. It was I was so broken down. My dad like basically pulled me off the side of the road and saved me. Thank God.
Yeah, they definitely make me cold at times.
Yeah.
Not hypothermia, but it's definitely one of the tricks.
You'll get through this. Just they can't expect to do something like this to you forever. They'll pull back eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate you all. I wish you the best. Sending
we love you
love
and care about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, reach out, please. Let's get a quick message from our friends at TI Events. Check it out.
Hosting a conference call?
Planning a rally?
Launching a workshop?
Then why isn't it listed on TIEvents.org? TI Events is where the TI community looks.
And if it's a major event?
They'll even build you a complimentary dedicated event page with full details and RSVP capability.
So, more visibility?
Absolutely. More visibility, bigger audiences, and the reach your event deserves. TIEvents.org. List your event today.
Complimentary pages available for select events.
That's TIEvents.org. Now back to the
What was
chat.
that paper? Is that a... Oh, I thought it was a fortune. Oh. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Are you guys still there?
Yes, we are. Hello.
I'm here. How you doing? Is this Carrie?
Yeah.
Hey, Carrie.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to, I want to touch on the whole gassing concept. This is something that a lot of, this is kind of how they cover up like what they're doing, because and I know you already heard this from me on my call, but maybe other callers are on here. A lot of times they will convince you, because they did it to me in the beginning. Like I'd be in my apartment or my car, and I felt like all of a sudden I had this idea in my head, like I'd start to get dizzy and have this weird feeling, and I would have this idea in my head that I was being gassed, and that there was something that was being pumped into my apartment, or something that was placed in my car, like in the vents or something. But it's to cover up that this is that they're messing with your central nervous system, and this is a common thing that I've seen with a lot of TIs. And it took me a while to realize what they were doing, because they could do it to me anywhere. They did it to me in so many different places. I realized that there was no way that they were placing some kind of gas canister or anything like that there. So so just try to keep in mind that this is like radio frequency based. It's an interaction with an implant or nanotech. Or just with directly with radio frequency to your central nervous system, and don't get caught up and because like what they do with it is they're trying to chase you around. They're trying to make you flee the area, thinking that that you can get away from this gas that's not there, and it's to make you feel like you're safe in your home. It's to make you feel like you're not safe in your home or wherever you're comfortable. It's undermining your sense of safety. And just know that, like, I know TIs that have driven all over the country, living in different places, going different places, and they still experience the same thing. So don't let them chase you around. It is them just trying to, undermine your make you
powerless. Yeah.
Carrie, did you get that information about it being gases from Onion Head Andrew?
No, you guys. Where did I? Well, I mean, my first experience in my home, there literally was something in my sink because I ended up going to the ER and having this blood marker that shows a huge toxin overload. My kidneys were on fire. So my very first exposure was real, you guys. The dog that was in the room with me went to the vet, was vomiting, bleeding rectally. I mean, so I definitely have had some real stuff happen.
What
but I also, Ben, do not disagree with you that this is central nervous system. I mean, at that time, you guys, I was having the home intrusions, which I had no idea that was part of this targeting. I am a classic. When I read that handbook, the thing of first they come in and they take something away, and then they come and they bring it back, and then, nothing of big value, so the police can't get involved, and then footprints in the hall. And so there were real people involved in the beginning. I don't know if I definitely feel stalked at times,
That is,
but Ben, I am really listening to you too.
That is true about the real people.
When you got the blood marker thing, what toxin did they find in your system?
So they can't identify the toxin. What they identified was, I think it's called carbohydroxy. And carbohydroxy comes, from two sources. One is carbon monoxide, which it wasn't because I have alarms all over the house. And also the characteristic, it was burning. Everything was, my mouth was burning, my nose. And then my kidney, I forget what they measure there, was extremely high, extremely under stress. I stayed sick for 9 days from whatever this exposure was. So I didn't know anything about this, you guys, at that time. And, I left my house for a month doing exactly what Ben talked about because I was crazy and I just thought, oh, my God, I got to get help somewhere and there's got to be safety. And when I came home, almost all my possessions were gone. They literally took almost all my clothes, my sheets. They're just so fucking ruthless. And the other day I went to the laundromat and did laundry and left the bag in the car. And guess what? They came and got the laundry. So now I have like half my clothes. I mean, you guys, it's wearing me down.
Hold on. So I'm trying to look up carbohydroxy and nothing's coming up for that. and what, immediately, the thing that I noticed they do with me is they will, and I noticed it with my wife, when we were being targeted really badly, was they will stop us from breathing in our sleep. They will basically, they can.
Oh yeah, that happened the other night.
Yeah, they do it to me when I'm awake. I mean, they'll make it so I have to breathe manually and do breathing exercises, and so the toxin that they identified, you said it was carbohydrate.
They didn't identify a toxin, you guys. They identified.
So there's no toxin.
The metabolite that shows that you are under, your body's trying to metabolize a toxin. So anyways, I don't really want to, get into a big deal of, all I'm saying is that it has been a process.
It isn't a big deal, but it is important because when your lungs aren't clearing, when you aren't breathing properly, you get a buildup of carbon dioxide in your system, which causes the same type of issues. I mean, you basically are depriving your body of oxygen and causes these type of issues. So I'm interested to, if it was that.
I will find it for you, Ben, but I was told it shows up in two situations. One, if you have carbon monoxide poisoning, and two, if your body is trying to metabolize heavy-duty chemical toxin. So I'll look for it, and I, like I said, I'm listening to you and considering everything, and I will send you the name of it so you can read about it. Okay?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And thank you. And I've had that experience where, like, I wake up in the morning, my diaphragm is killing me because I didn't breathe. My breath was stopping all night. So
that's what I noticed that they're doing to a lot of people. And I used to wake my wife up in the night because I'd look over and I'd see her breathing, and then she would just stop breathing. And I saw, and I would wake her up and she'd get all mad, and I was like, yeah, you weren't breathing for like a good 7 seconds there. There's a problem.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep. And they would make her pull her blanket up over her head and like encase herself like she was in a cocoon under the blanket, where I couldn't see if she was breathing or not.
Scary.
I woke up many times like shaking, like I was oxygen deprived, and feeling dizzy and having a headache. So I think that what they're doing is pretty much, it's all remote, where they're able to mess with your respiratory or your central nervous system, and stop you from breathing, which would do the same thing. You're depriving your brain of oxygen for prolonged periods of time, causing brain damage over time. And I think that I know for a fact that they are not deploying people out to tens of thousands of targeted individuals' houses and then poisoning them with pumping gas in their house, because it's just logistically it doesn't make sense. And so it makes more sense that they would be doing that.
That resonation, that stop breathing bit, because that's happened to me too. I woke up out of it, and I ran to the bathroom, and I felt like I wanted to vomit. But anyway, I've heard years ago that that has to do with like babies when they stop sudden infant death syndrome. That has to do with how they're resonated with this network that we're on, and suddenly they stop resonating with the system in their heart, and they stop breathing. And I have a feeling that that's what's happening with us. They suddenly have us stop resonating, and suddenly we stop breathing.
Yeah,
that's a theory that I heard before about the sudden infant death syndrome and targeting. So that's something that if y'all want to look into that. Resonation.
I think that's what they're doing with all of this, because it's a perfect covert way to hide. I mean, because they don't want to leave any type of chemicals in your system or drugs in your system, because they're very careful about this stuff. And if they can do it remotely and just keep you from breathing, there's no evidence there, for anything happening. I mean, I think that's what they're doing with this. I think that's their standard kind of practice of slowly degrading the brain over time by causing, increment brain damage, over time.
Harry, your claims about someone breaking in, moving stuff, and coming back, those are totally valid 100%, because I met someone, a friend of my housemate that used to be a gang stalker, and he explained what they did, and he said they would break into people's. He didn't know like what he was doing, so he stopped doing it once he found out that people were getting really hurt and affected, like emotionally, and what the goal was to drive them crazy. And so now he quit doing that, and he's gang stalked. I mean, he's targeted very badly. And
of course.
Yeah, yes, but he said that they would move people's stuff and then come back a week later and put it back because they wanted you to question your sanity.
Right, and then everybody else questions your sanity, right?
Yeah,
like, why would they take art supplies?
Exactly.
I think part of the MO is like just anything that wouldn't cause the police to investigate.
Yeah,
thanks for sharing that with me.
I didn't believe that people.
Michelle, did you know they did that in the Soviet Union to people too?
Oh wow, that's crazy. Nazis?
Well, kind of, yeah. Whatever they're called, but they were doing the same thing.
Wow, they probably got it. They probably added it to their Zertzig stuff.
I mean, there was a manual I read last week online that has literally lists out my whole experience. Like, it's a manual for gang stalkers. and it parallels everything that's happened to me.
I saw it. Yeah.
You know, my phone's still hacked, financial issues, everything. So you guys know I don't have to keep saying stuff. So, anyways.
Yeah. They're nosy, and they have to put their nose in everything.
Well, they just want to crash your world. I mean, they just want to collapse you. So.
Yeah, it's totally crazy and ridiculous.
Something quite unusual, particularly as the object glowed with a pulsating bright. It's degradation. It, like Sir Sid Song is. It's degradation. It's come in and break you down.
Yeah, that's what I think that they base this stuff off of. I wrote a couple different articles about Zersistrung, from the Stasi in East Berlin, or West Berlin rather, and and what they were doing there. But I think that they, with this technology, like with this remote, neural interface technology, they're able to do it in a way where they can do it on a much larger scale, leave less evidence, have less agents on the ground, leave less loose ends, and they can, this is why I tell people, to set up a camera system in your house that's not connected to the internet, and doesn't have Wi-Fi capability, to record, and not just to make sure that nobody's breaking in, but to make sure that they're not making you do stuff in an unconscious or hypnotic state, because they can make you get up when you're asleep or unconscious and go and do weird shit around your house to simulate the same thing. And and I experienced that a lot. Stuff going missing, stuff being moved around, and once I had a camera system set up, that stuff stopped happening. So it's something to consider.
Let's open mic. If you'd like to participate, come on in. We got a lot of people in the call.
If I can ask the community something.
Go ahead.
When I've had heavy V2K for the past 2 years, and at the onset there was a heavy human component to it, and over time that's reduced and has been more of an AI chatbot, more of a repetitive recorded playback type of harassment, to the point where I believe that my V2K is now probably 99% AI or computer generated. Most of everything I hear has something I've heard before multiple times, or if it is new, it's not something that a human would say. It seems to just be a new spawning of a new phrase or a new trigger word that then becomes recorded and played back over time. So one of the things that I've done is just to pretend that and convince myself that there's no human being involved. Whether that's correct or not, that's something that allows me to get through the day, each day. I've been told that, no, you still probably have a human handler, and I probably do, but I'm choosing to believe that there isn't one at this point, because that's the coping mechanism I choose, and that may not work for everybody, but by golly, I'm determined to make that work for me, because that's given me some alleviation. What I wanted to ask was, because I'm someone who keeps reacting to it, I'm responsible, I think, for my own torture to some extent. Because I've reacted to it, I've allowed the script, or allowed the computer script, to evolve over time. If I hear something that sounds like race this, it could also sound like erase this. It could also sound like racist. I'll hear phonetic sounds that my brain wants to fill in the context, wants to try to figure out what's being said, and I think that's the problem I've created for myself. But
that's not your fault, though, Sean. I appreciate
that. Because I'm from Boston. I'm stubborn, and I have a tendency to want to fight back every time I hear the nonsense chattering in my head. And I'm thinking, Sean, what are you doing? You're screaming at you're doing the equivalent of screaming at the television. Because you hear a program.
That's why they do it.
And I after 2 years, I'm coming to terms with that. But in the beginning, there must have been something. So I'm wondering if for those of us that have V2K, if you can recall the earliest onset of it, I'm wondering if there's some commonality to the script during the genesis of this experience.
Well, in my case, they interrogated me, and all the data gleaned from the interrogation back in 2002 is used constantly in my targeting. And I, too, started out with all humans, and then it morphed into AI chatterbots, and now it's basically artificial life. They do play with NLP. We have a book in the book club, which is coming up, about NLP and how to understand it. I think it's fundamentals of NLP and the essential guide to NLP, actually. It's on Amazon. It's very interesting. They change words around too, so they'll say one word, but they'll change the meaning of it, or they'll change the letters around to trick you. It's all basically a distraction to keep your attention, focus on them. I have the same exact stuff happening to me.
My V2K started when I was living with my boyfriend, and his name was Rick, and all of a sudden I would be like, he would stay up, and I went to sleep before him, and I would hear Rick in a woman's voice, Rick, and I thought some girl, he was seeing some woman, or it was the neighbor, because they had like some younger adults there. That's what they wanted me to believe, that they were trying to call him to come out there, or some girl was there to see him, and it was a big chaotic thing, and it was all a skit, and that's how it started, and it's very nasty and evil. And then I knew it was so it was covert at that point, because I had no idea I was targeted. That's how it started, and then it evolved to overt, and I finally I've been targeted for over 2 decades, and I've known I'm a target for about 5 years. So.
Yeah, and I just want to say that, gentlemen, one thing I noticed early on in my targeting with the V2K was they were trying to get me to blame myself for things that were going on. They were saying that this is happening because of X or Y or Z, or even, when they would use V2K and supplanted thoughts, they would constantly try to elicit a response somehow that, of guilt. They're trying to create like some kind of guilt complex, some type of, feeling that that's something that you're not doing enough. They would constantly say, like, what are you doing to save your wife? What are you doing to get yourself out of the situation? You're lazy. This is your fault. So that thing that you're talking about where, you recognize, you'll hear something, and it's like your brain goes to this rapid fire thing of recognizing these different words. This is something that they're able to do with AI software, AI neural interface software, that, it's basically like a voice recognition, program. It's the same thing, and they're using it through your mind with this neural interface software, because they'll do it with me. I mean, I'll be listening to a song, and they can make the song, like even like a guitar playing in the song sound like it's saying like "fuck you, Ben" or something like that. They can suggest to your mind how to interpret a sound, and that is all through the through the neural interface software. So don't think that it's because of you in any way. Like, that is just a technology, and they're trying to make you blame yourself in some way, because that makes the psychological torture more effective. So
Sure.
just don't read into that too much.
That is 100% true. What he just said, 100%. I'm a person that was raised religious, and I mean they don't always go hand in hand with ethics or being good, but I mean I always knew. I just did. I was most friendliest in my class, and I was just I cared about not being. I mean, to the point of having what they call OCD and scrupulosity. When you worry about did I do anything wrong or hurt somebody, then you rethink it over throughout the day. And when you use that when you have OCD in religion, it's called scrupulosity. So it's kind of like you always, but I will still, like, did I do something to get on this, did I piss somebody off? Did I cuss in front of something? I mean, just some stupid stuff. But it's like, I know other people that are, that they also experiment on prisoners in jail and prisons. They've done that in MK Ultra in this history. But yeah, you can, try to, you'll try to almost, that's how OCD starts. It's like you'll get a guilt pattern way of thinking over lustful thought or something dumb, just something normal human.
I agree. Well, folks, I don't want to interrupt, but it is time for the book club, if you don't mind, and then we can go right back to this topic, and which is a great topic. It's really going to help the people listening to this recording, for sure. That'll give them a chance to understand how we go through, or what we go through with this, definitely with the B2K, synthetic telepathy. Here we go.
It's time for the TI Book Club, where every book opens a door to new worlds and shared journeys. Here, we uncover hidden gems, specially selected for TIs, and always within your reach. Be part of a community that reads together, grows together, and sees the world through the same lens. Don't just listen to stories, live them with us. Join now at bookclubs.com/TIBookClub/join, and let's turn the pages of adventure together.
Time for the book club. I am reading a book off of Amazon, Kindle form, by an author named Audra Lynn Fasano, Fasano, and the book is called Unseen Targets: The Spiritual Warfare They Never Want Us to See for the TIs. It is available on Amazon, and I'm in the middle of reading it right now. A new book will be available next week. I'll probably get as far as I can into it, but it's all about spiritual warfare. You talk about spirits and having some type of belief in something, and they take it all away. This is a spiritual warfare, even if you're religious or not, and that's what the book is about. Anyway, TI Book Club, join today. There's 229 members. This is our 10th year. We started in 2016 with John Hall's books and Dr. Robert Duncan's books and Roseanne Schneider's book, her first. So that's how we started. Anyway, that's a TI Book Club. Check it out every Sunday, and you can, of course, join the book club at any time. Go to TargetedWest.com to click on book clubs and join that way. Thank you very much. Now back to the conversation.
I have a question. Does anybody have...
Go ahead, Jen.
Hi, Chris. Does anybody have any contact information for Dr. John Hall? And does anybody on the call? I guess I could Google it and email him. In any case, another question. Does anyone have an issue with dues? My due bombs are horrendous, and they're not just destroying my body, but my brain as well. And there's a creep that wants me not to be able to write letters well,
anymore or read books. And I don't know. I heard that Frank, Massachusetts, I heard that Frank was a good person to talk to about dues, because I'm getting bombed day and night. And when I drive off to sleep in some church parking lot, the Jews always find me. So, do you, Anthony, know anything about how to block dues?
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing is they're sending radio frequency signals that are interacting with nanotech or an implant that sends signals to your central nervous system that causes pain. And that's basically, how it works. So it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't matter like where you go to get rid of it.
Well, I sort of figured out it has to do with the electrical grid. Because when I drive into the country and park to try and get sleep, the dudes always, it's like they can engage the electrical grid. And I caught my neighbor sneaking around, and when I examined the electrical box, there was an inverted star on it, which is Satanistic, and it's so hard not to be able to get out of here. But I got to do something, and I'm hoping that just driving farther away.
Have you tried any type of heavy metal detox?
No, but I intend to do it.
Yeah, so this is one thing that is definitely like a cheap, easy type of thing to help. Is look up. I would take iodine supplement, which is very cheap to get. It's basically just powdered seaweed in a capsule. You can look up EDTA chelation supplement, and that's also pretty cheap. But when you do the EDTA chelation supplement through capsules, you have to take a probiotic to repopulate your gut bacteria after you take it, because the EDTA kind of kills off gut bacteria, which is very important. So you have to take like a probiotic afterwards to repopulate your gut bacteria. But
right.
Yeah, and you can look up how long to take it for, when to take it, how to kind of supplement your diet. But yeah, like flushing out the heavy metals out of your body, drinking tons of water. If you can, do a sauna, or do something that helps you sweat. Like sweating helps a lot. Doing foot soaks, like if you do hot water, like really hot water, Epsom salt foot soaks. That'll open up the pores on the bottom of your feet, which are very large, because our body naturally drains all the toxins kind of to our feet naturally.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people, when they get dews, their feet, they experience burning on their feet a lot, because the heavy metals tend to build up in the feet, because that's how your body is trying to kind of like push that crap out through gravity, through your lymphatic system.
Very interesting. Luckily, I have an ionic foot bath. But everywhere I go, I'm getting dews, and it's making, I'm having like senior declines, and I'm just more and more confused and exhausted, and I don't know what to do. This is getting really scary, because I'm a zombie. And but I will take your advice. That's really good. to hear that I can stick my feet in an ionic foot bath, and I don't know. It seems to me I've seen neighbors point their cell phone to engage this extra electrical grid, and somehow they can use the cell phone for the dues and the microwaves. I mean, I wrote about how microwaves are shot.
You know, that's so funny. Just yesterday, I was experiencing someone who had their cell phone pointed at me in a weird way, which, because, of course, we're all paranoid about everything, right, you guys? But I wondered, I thought, is there a way that they could be actually directing some sort of electrical energy? I mean, who knows what, has been developed.
Somehow they can rig an electric box. I don't know how it's done. They can connect to it, because I was cutting the power in my condo every day. I've been going through this for months, and it used to work, and now it doesn't anymore. And I attribute it to this neighbor sneaking around, and I guess I could try to call the electric.
Sounds good. I don't want to interrupt, but we're going to end the recording now. Thank you for watching or listening on your favorite platform. Please like, subscribe, and make a comment. I read them all. Thank you again.